Evening all, Kieran here, back with another podcast, this time Aintree Day 3 and Saturday and the big Grand National Day. Obviously this podcast is in association with architecttips.co.uk. Good first day today. We had Sans Brute go in the red rum, defending his title. So slight loss on the day, but we had a winner nevertheless. So moving on to Saturday now, we've had the declarations. I will be putting up 3 horses in the Grand National when we get there, but they won't actually be selections themselves. I won't say to people, back this horse for the National, back that horse for the National. I think the National's a bit of a fun for everybody. Everybody gets involved, and I just think that everybody should make their own mind up what they back, whether it's names, numbers, colours, etc. Just back what you fancy. Don't follow anybody. The National is always a bit of fun, and it's for everybody. I think everybody bets on the National, don't they? But the Grand National Day starts with the 120, the handicap hurdle over 3 miles. A lot of the Potemps hurdle horses come here. Obviously, Jericho de Repine was second in that race. He's favourite for it, currently at 13-2. I like Camzamas of Fergal O'Brien's, currently best price 16-1. He won here in October over the course and won very nicely, to be fair. Sims have been in and out in a couple of handicaps since, and then ran last time out up at Doncaster, first step up at the 3 miles. I think he got to the front a little too soon and was idling in front and got picked off by another one of my favourites of the channel, which is Patriotic, who picked him up at Doncaster that day. I think, though, coming back to a course which he likes, obviously Fergal O'Brien's team in decent nick, and I think he could go close, and obviously you're likely to get 5, maybe even 6 places in this race. It's going to be a decent quality handicap. So Camzamas, course winner, 16-1, that'll do for me in the first. Moving on to the 155, and this is where the Mersey Novices Hurdle over 2.5 miles, and this is where Lalamba comes rather than running in the 2-mile juvenile race that was run today. I'm not sure whether he would have got close to Mercia. We'll never know because he didn't run. But he's currently best price 11-10 in here, and I still can't back him over 2.5 miles. Second time up, how much that Triumph Hurdle took out of him at Cheltenham. You just couldn't be backing him here. Is he going to be 100% 3 weeks after Cheltenham? So I'm going to side with another horse that's won at the track previously, and that's Horace's Pearl, again a Fergal O'Brien's. With a Fergal O'Brien fan club going on here, but 8-1 Horace's Pearl is, and obviously he won the bumper last year, beating Tripoli Flyer. Obviously I fancy for tomorrow in the other novice race over 2 miles. Horace has done nothing wrong, he's never been beaten, hasn't lost a race. Obviously won 2 very ordinary hurdles so far, should we say, at Newbury and at, I believe the other one was Market Raisin. But comes here, obviously, like I said, course winner. He won the bumper last year. I think Fergal having him fine fell. Conor Brace takes the ride. He gets on really well with this horse. I think at 8-1, up in trip to 2.5 miles will suit. I think he's got great claims here. Probably each way claims, but I probably will go to be on the safe side with Lalamba in the race. But I think Horace's Pearl could run close and maybe even beat Lalamba in this. So that's Horace's Pearl for the Mersey Novices Hurdle. And then we move on to the 2:30 handicap chase over 3 miles. And Myers Town is in here for Lucinda Russell. Currently best price 11-4 after winning the Ultima at Cheltenham very impressively off a very low weight in the Ultima. I think he's gone up about £15 for that win, but it was very impressive that day. But I'm going to be taking him on in this race because it's maybe like 22 runners in this race, so it's definitely each way terms. We won't be back in 11-4 shot each way, that's for sure. And the horse I fancy in here is Imperial Saint of Philip Hobbs's. 3-time course winner this season. Loves it round here. This will be his first try at 3 miles, however, but I'm sure there's room for improvement, and there's got to be a reason why they've targeted this race for him rather than potentially going to Cheltenham, which I knew he was fancy for Cheltenham races for the handicaps at Cheltenham, but they've saved him for Aintree, saved him for somewhere where he enjoys coming around here. I'm sure we'll get plenty of tune out of him at the front will his jockey, I think Micheál Noland will ride. Obviously, the concern is that these two, him and Myerstown, may take each other on for the lead, which could potentially cut both each other's throats. But I'm still happy to take Imperial Saint with the course form, and hopefully he can finish in the frame. Like I said, 8-1. Again, this race will comfortably get 5 places somewhere, I would have thought, if not 6. We'll see if the prices come today on Saturday morning. And moving on to the Liverpool hurdle, the 305. And Tupu is in here, 11-4 favourite. And he has to be. I don't lay horses, but he'd have to be the lay for me, surely. He's not going to like the ground. Yes, he's to be fair, he's run an absolute stormer in the stairs early on ground that he wouldn't have liked at all to finish second to Bob Ollinger. But how much is left in the tank? Like, he's 3 weeks later and he's back again on ground he doesn't like. Gordon's always said that he goes better fresh. Yet he's coming here 3 weeks after Cheltenham. I couldn't be having him at all on my mind at 11-4 really. Home by the Lee is also in here. He could have a chance. Obviously came down early in the stairs hurdle. Likes it round. I think he could go close in this race. And obviously you got Strong Leader as well, who won the race last year. The first 3 home of the race last year actually all come back. Hidden Valley Lake, Strong Leader and Buddy won. But I like another horse in the race, and it's Willie Mullins' Kit's Buell at 5-1 currently now. This horse could quite literally be the typical enigma of anything. He's ran 2 races for Willie Mullins. He's won both races very easily. Firstly, beating Colonel Mustard round, I think it was either Punchestown or Fairyhouse, and then went to Nace where he beat, or Navan, it was one of the two, where he won easy enough in a grade 3, very at 4-7, won as he liked. Hasn't been seen since. I think he had a slight setback, but comes here, Willie Mullins stepping up to 3 miles. Those 2 victories are over 2 miles. So 3 miles unknown, but it's Willie Mullins. He had 4 winners today. And this boy is only 5. I think he's got bags and bags of potential. And potentially, if he is as good as Willie Mullins thinks he is, I think he could put on a bit of show here. And at 5-1, I think there's plenty of improvement in there, and he's definitely worth a play at 5-1 for me. It's the unknown factor. He could be anything, this horse. He really could. And then next, it's the 4 o'clock, the big one, the Grand National. Like I said at the start of the video, these will just be... I'll just put 3 horses that I won't be putting up as selections, but I will be backing on the day just as my fun bets. And there's reasons behind all 3. The first one being Grange Clare West at 25-1. Now, those that know me and have seen me on Ginger Joe's channel, they will know that I actually put this boy up for the Gold Cup at 100-1 before he obviously ran in the Savills where he finished second there. He went as short as 16-1 for the Gold Cup. Obviously never ran because the target was here. Also, I think the ground was slightly too quick for him. And again, that could potentially be a disadvantage. You might want the ground slightly softer than what he's going to get at Aintree on Saturday. I'm not sure whether there's any showers forecast. But if there is, then the softer the ground, the better for this boy. His jumping, he's got no problem with that. And Brian Hayes gets on really well with him. He rode him in the Savills last time when he finished second. Obviously, he beat Factor File that day. He's since come out and won the Ryanair since. So the form's rock solid, and I think if he jumps round well, he could potentially have a chance in this race. The next one is 3-Card Bragg. Now, I actually had him potentially penciled in for the Irish Grand National, but he gets in here, down the bottom of the weights, for Gordon Elliott, and he's actually booked Sean Bowen for the ride, which is a bit of a plus for the horse. Which is definitely, if you want to get Sean Bowen, that's definitely a good plus for your horse all day long. He's not done much this season. He won nicely a couple of starts ago at Navan, and then was subsequently 3rd in a decent race the time after when trying to make most of the run in at Leopardstown, but didn't quite get home that day over 3 miles. I think that was a bit of a pipe opener in prep for a national. He gets in here, and I think he could run a decent race. He's got no issues with his jumping like Grange Clare West, saying you need a good horse to jump fences in big fields, and he could definitely give you a run for your money with Sean Bowen on board. And the third one is Duffel Coat, again of Gordon Elliott's. He's as big as 66-1 in places. 3-card bag, by the way, is 22's best price. But Duffel Coat, 66-1 best price. I believe Sam Ewing's been booked for the ride, but I had me and Mark that he was going to run next weekend in the Scottish Grand National, but he comes here, he gets right in at the bottom of the weights, just sneaks in, and he was going really well. I think he would come back up and finish placed in the National Hunt Chase up at Cheltenham last time out, and hopefully if there's no ill effects from where he was brought down that day, potentially he could another one that could run a big race here, and at 66-1 you'll definitely get a run for your money, I feel. And then the last race I'm going to touch on, because I'm not going to touch on the bumper, is the 5 o'clock, which is the Maggle Novices Chase over 2 miles, where Le de Sud is your 13-8 favourite. Obviously had a difficult, hard race, I feel, in the Arkle, where he couldn't get the job done there. Only by Night also running that race comes here as well. Obviously Django Bay didn't really advertise the form too well, getting beat by Imperial Pass in the first race today. So the horse I've come down on is Paul Nicholls' Caliph de Burleigh. I think you can get 4-1 on this horse. He comes here fresh. Obviously last time out at Sandown over 2 mile 4, which was very disappointing. That again was behind Django Bay and Handstands, who I believe has a great chance tomorrow in the first, or today, depending on when you're watching this. But I think he'll be more suited to the 2 mile, to drop back to 2 miles, pop him out in front, Cobden Special off the front, a bit like he did today on Sandsbrook, just jump for fun from the front, and hopefully put them all under pressure. And potentially, if there is rustiness from these horses that ran only 3 weeks ago in the Arkle, then potentially you could pick up the piece, and 4-1 is a decent bet. But like I said, I will be, as per usual with all my bets, the prices will be up on the Saturday morning when we get best odds. So a quick run through of those. So we have, firstly, in the 120, the handicap hurdle over 3 miles, we have Kansamas for Fergal O'Brien. In the 155, Horace's Pearl again for Fergal O'Brien. In the Mersey Novices Hurdle over 2.5 miles. In the 230, the handicap chase over 3 miles, we have Imperial Saint for Philip Hobbs. The 305, the Liverpool Stairs Hurdle, we've gone Kitzbühel for Willie Mullins. The 3 for the Grand National, I will do the tri-cast just for shits and giggles, is Grange Clare West, 3-card Bragg and Duffel Coat. And then in the 5 o'clock, the Malhall Novices Chase over 2 miles, Caliph de Burleigh, for Paul Nicholls. Thanks for listening again, guys. If you could please like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. Any comments, if you want to drop any comments in, I'm quite happy to answer any questions. Any people who want to take me on with some horses, I'd quite happily give my opinion on horses. I've not got a problem with that. And if you could like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. Thanks again for listening. Thanks again to Architect Tips for sponsoring the channel, and happy punting, guys.